So as they come up, I'm going to also introduce our third feature for today, who is a hip-hop artist from the north side of Milwaukee. North side? Who has gained popularity by releasing singles through his SoundCloud, which later transcended into mixtapes. In 2013, Wave made his debut with the mixtape It'll All Make Sense Soon. In late 2014, he followed with his second project, Only the Beginning, featuring Currency, Rico Love, and more, becoming the first young artist to break out of his city. Spring 2016 also included his debut project, long-awaited debut project, featuring standout tracks Overtime and Let's Win, featuring Ishtar, which also solidified his place both at the local and national level. Continuing throughout his work, he teeters between neo-soul production, trap-like beats, boom bap, and using his platform to spit bars in his personal narrative, his city, and his progress. Give it up for Wave Chappelle. I think I'm going to just sit here. Thank you. Yes, please. Right here is cool. Yeah, just keep it nice and even. Grab that. And you can grab that mic right there, RB, and you can have this one. Nice and cozy. Very comfortable. So guys, this is actually the key and most important aspect of Lab, next to the open mics, of course. We have a conversation-based interview where we're talking to our features about what they do, but if you guys are following along and you have specific questions that you'd like to ask them, or anything that we're talking about you want them to elaborate on, this is your chance, okay? Think of it like a master class. Like, you have an opportunity to speak to somebody who's doing something that you may be interested in, or maybe you never thought of before. So raise your hand at any point, at any time, at any moment, and we'll make sure to get your information out there, okay? Cool. All right, so I already gave a little bit of info on the bios of you guys, but also I like to give everybody the chance to talk about where they started, okay? Especially because we have a lot of youth in here. We have a lot of teens. They may already be artists themselves or maybe thinking about it. So if you can kind of just set the scene for each of them, like, what were you doing from your teen years to now that led you to being in the positions that you guys are in music? So I'm gonna start over here with RB.
Mine's is a little bit different because I was a little bit younger than a teen when I started.
Mm-hmm.
So at the age of 7, we were coming back from an agency trip at the Rebels and just messing around. It was real fun vibes, and we was doing freestyles on the bus, on the coach bus.
Okay.
And it started off with an ABC rap, just like going through the different letters of the alphabet, saying stuff with it. My sister, my big bro Day, he was like, "Loki, you got a good rapping voice." They was like, "You ever thought about rapping?" I was like, "Nah, not really." But growing up, I've been around a whole bunch of artists. Artists have been around me my whole life. So ever since then, once they said that, they sort of pushed me into it. First song ever, ABC rap. Can't find it on YouTube no more. It's been deleted. But yeah, so it all started from there. Just people pressuring me and telling me that I need to get in the lab, and I did.
I love it. Yeah. Love it. So the early encouragement on, we should definitely take that seriously, right? I love the fact when you got family and friends that are kind of pushing you and showing you beyond what you know. Like, you may not even realize you have that talent at that time, but just because they planted those seeds and leads to stuff like this. So that's really dope. How about you, Em?
So my start, I started off as a spoken word artist. So I was, I don't know if we're still familiar with Dasha Kelly or Stillwater's Collective.
Yeah.
So I started off doing high school slam leagues and stuff like that. Before then, I don't know if y'all can attest to this, but it was a girl in my class that I liked. And I wrote...
It all starts with the crush.
9 poems about her. None of them didn't work. But I started there, and then I started into poetry slam, and then that eventually bled over into making music.
Nice.
At Reagan High School. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Reagan is a huge involved community partner with us, so have a lot of crossover with students.
And the best
from there
high
all the
school.
time.
Sorry about that.
I mean,
we could debate about that at the social hour.
In these sorts of like things, I'm like, everybody's cool, but of course I'm a Milwaukee High School of the Arts graduate, so I gotta put on, yeah. Anywho.
Not too much. How about
you, Wave?
Man, for me, music started, it started pretty early, you know what I mean? My pops was a rapper, you know what I mean? He used to go by Mr. Do It To Death. He also wrote, there's a song called In My Projects. My dad wrote that song.
Wow. Cuckoo Cow. That's what's up.
Exactly. So, you know, he wrote that song, and then, you know, just so I kind of got the studio feel pretty early. Myself as an artist, I remember being in like middle school, and I got transferred to a school in Memphis, you know what I mean, like 7th grade. So I had to find a way to like get them to like me, you know what I mean? I was from somewhere else. They didn't really know me. I didn't talk like them. But I'm like, yo, I can rap. So I memorized Eazy-E. There was this Eazy-E verse, you know, that cruising down the street in my 6'4", right?
Yeah.
So I memorized that whole verse, knowing that nobody in my class would know who that was, right? So I pull up to the school, I rap that verse like it's a freestyle. Everybody's like, yo, this dude's crazy, like you cold. You know what I mean? And then from there, I'm like, you know, I can't keep stealing verses from Eazy-E. So eventually I had to start writing my own, and then that's when I got into just creative writing. And then, you know, I went back to Milwaukee, loaded it up, and I just started rapping, man. And I went to Mesmer, you know what I mean? So I was freestyling, you feel me? I was freestyling all through Mesmer High School, you know what I mean? And that's kind of how I got my start as an artist. Yeah.
That's what's up. What high school did you go to again?
Oh, Brown Deer.
Brown Deer. Oh, we got a nice representation up here.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of Milwaukee, greater Milwaukee area. Okay. I like the fact that you all said, though, like you kind of started to find your voice by performing stuff from other people. Like, obviously, when you're developing your artistry, the goal is to kind of like find what makes sense to you. But I do think it's great that we have examples of like, what can I emulate in the beginning? Like, me, myself, obviously, I'm up here too navigating, but I'm also trying to speak from the perspective of an artist as well. Because I am one, as I mentioned, all the 1,000,001 things I do. But like, I loved like R&B artists. The people that really inspired me in my middle school ages were like Jill Scott and Music Soul Child, like those sorts of vibes. Kind of performing Alicia Keys, like those sorts of things, doing their music kind of helped me like get people's attention in the same way, but also it was like, okay, like, what does Be Free sound like? What does Britney's music sound like? You know what I mean? So it's cool to find stuff like that to help you find your grounding, but also just use it as a launching pad to develop into what it is that you guys want to do with your things. Nice. Do we have any rappers out here? By a show of hands? I know I got a couple. We got any singers? We got any poets? We got any people who are interested in music in general? All right, I love it. I love it. So the possibilities are endless. And if you're here, whether you're trying to pursue something professionally or you're just trying to learn more about it, I think that all of this is just really useful information. So thank you. So we talked about the different schools that we went to and how we got started. And you mentioned that you play several things as well, super dope. But I talked about some of my influences. I wonder, as Milwaukee musicians coming up, did you guys have any specific people, whether it was somebody in the mainstream industry or even somebody here, that kind of gave you guys encouragement or that you looked up to or that you wanted to like model yourselves after with what you're doing?
Start with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I would say there's several people. One, I had a big cousin, man, that was always he was just always on the latest and freshest thing, you know what I mean? Like he always had the freshest kicks. He was always on the next music before it came out or got popular. And that was somebody that he used to pick beats for me all the time. He always play me beats and be like, yo, bro, you should rap to this, you should freestyle to this. And definitely just inspiring me in that way. All the artists that I grew up listening to, from like Jay-Z to Kanye, you know what I mean? I remember stealing the College Dropout CD out of my mama's car and just playing it, you know, constantly playing it, and then being like, yo, I think I can really do that. You know, I really feel like I could become a rapper. And then I'm finna put him on the spot. Shout out my teacher, my music teacher, G Flat, back there. I can honestly say that he's somebody that also, you know, being at a school, you know, Mesmer was definitely, you know, I don't want to call it strict, but it had a lot of rules, and it wasn't, you as a teen, you wouldn't say it's a very creative space. And, you know, him being a music teacher and, you know, just letting us know it's okay to be creative in this way. I remember getting my rhyme book stole out of like class, you know what I mean? Like, my teacher literally took my rhyme book, sent it to 316, which is the room, you know what I mean? And, right? But like after school, like, you know, he let me know that this is a place where the auditorium was a place where I could go and just explore my creativity as an artist, as a rapper, you know what I mean? So definitely got to give him kudos for that. You know, letting a young kid, you know what I mean, from the north side just express and be expressive, you know what I mean, at a time like that. It's
Shout
important.
out to the important teachers out there in
Yes,
the
sir.
city and in the world that just give us the encouragement we needed. I love it. Shout out G Flat. I love
Yes,
it.
sir.
How about you, Em?
Usually when I get asked this question, my mind as a rapper always goes to, who's my top 5? So I'll give you that, and then I'll give you a little bit more. So Ye, Kanye, Common, Kid Cudi, Andre 3000. My favorite artist of all time has nothing to do with rap. It's Marvin Gaye. That's a person. Marvin Gaye, Curtis Mayfield are two people I wish I could make records with. On a local level, I'm going to shout out Dasha Kelly again because I started off in spoken word poetry scene. And so she was a very important staple in my life at that time. And then when I got to high school, I also had some pretty cool music teachers. Adam Murphy, Miss B, and they saw that me and Jen is another rapper here.
Shout out to Genesis Renji.
Genesis Renji saw that we had an interest in music, and they built like this pseudo music studio for us after school because we were not leaving. And they're like, all right, we need to make y'all a studio so y'all can record and stuff like that. But yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. RB. Should I call you RB or just Vic? It's fine. What do you prefer?
Either or, you could choose.
I'll be extra.
I'd say 99% of my motivation and inspiration comes from the local level. Like I said, the people that I came up with, the young legends, the Days, the Okies. It's too many to name that I've been around. The Ishdars, the Jacob Lattimores. It's so many people that I've seen do their thing, and seeing them do their thing lit a fire in me. Like not only did it motivate me, but knowing that they're in my corner, knowing that they're there as an ear, as a shoulder, as somebody to help guide me along the game since they've been in it themselves, that's what's really been my inspiration and my motivation. And seeing that a lot of those guys that I still named are still in my corner to this day is an amazing feeling. So that's definitely what lit the fire in me for sure.
I love it. I think the really common thing amongst all of you three up here, besides the fact that you like dabble in the similar avenues of music, you all definitely started at before now. You know what I mean? Like, especially you. Like, you've been doing it since you were 7. And the people that we have come through Lab all the time, like, this is like the breeding ground, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are the things that lead to the trajectory of what you're going to be doing next. So this is the time to practice. This is the time to try things and really see what you're capable of. So I love the fact that we are been able to see where this has led you. And I also really, really appreciate the fact that you had mostly local people. Because I feel like for me personally, I don't know if you guys can attest to it, there was not a whole lot in like the 2000s of folks that were doing what I'm doing now. You know what I mean? We've kind of had to forge our own way and be the guinea pigs, so to speak. But also when you are able to find people here to tap in with or connect with to show you an example of how to do that thing, and then you can take it and make it your own. I think that's really, really cool. And you yourself are now being that for other people. You know, like you're showing them like, yeah, I did this from this age, from your age, and I'm also keeping this. And the fact that you're also still in school, my guy, come on, shout out to college education for the one time. That's amazing. That's really amazing. Dope. So I just want to make a quick note. The pizza is here. So you guys are welcome to partake. Right. No, boy, get the... I should have been more specific. But also just reminding you, if you have any questions whatsoever about anything, and while these guys are up here, raise a hand up, and I'll make sure I can see it and get it answered, okay? Cool. Any questions right now? Yeah. Ooh, about what specifically? Okay, so I'm going to repeat the questions only because anybody that's watching the live stream, they probably can't hear unless we're on the mic. So the question is, people talk all the time about what's difficult about being a musician, but what's something that you find to be easy about it?
I'll go first. I would say one, just being creative, you know what I mean? Like when I think that's the easy part of it is like it's like a hooper, you know what I mean? Like if a hooper love to hoop, the easiest part about hooping is going to the gym and just getting shots up, you know what I'm saying? So same thing with being an artist. I feel like you know, being creative, you know, and being able to have fun and take all these ideas and, you know, put them into reality, I really would say that's the easiest part because also that's the funnest part, you know what I mean? That's what we kind of get a high off of or a kick off of, you know what I mean, is getting in the studio and locking in. So I would say that's what's easy about it, yeah.
Nice. Any other thoughts? Any additions?
It's kind of hard.
Yeah,
I would.
no.
It's a good question. It's a really good question. Just echoing those same sentiments. Just loving what you do is for me is the easiest and hardest part. Easy because nobody has to necessarily motivate me or tell me to go do it. I just do it because I want to. But then sometimes that's also the hardest part. Still doing it, even if you don't see results that you think you should have or want to have, and still being able to motivate yourself. So it's the easiest and the hardest part at the same time.
Interesting.
To double that, I definitely agree that it's the easiest and hardest. Living in the vibe of the music. The vibe of the music, being able to submerge yourself and let it fully pour out your emotions, whatever it is, use it as a source to vent. It's an easy tool. However, there's times where, as artists, I'm sure you guys have all experienced it, where that lack of motivation is real. Mm-hmm. Like the lack of creativity sometimes is real, and it's finding the ways to get yourself out of that slump and get back into the love and the vibe of the music, because the vibe is the easiest part for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question, bro. I've never heard that question. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think I will segue that into the other end of that spectrum, though, because talking about the difficulties, I think it's important to acknowledge what they are so that people know how to work around it. I think that as far as the creativity slumps, like I think that we all came up with the idea that hustle hard. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're not doing nothing all day, every day, 365, that you're not an artist. Like unlearning that. You know what I mean? Like because true art comes with experience and with life. And how are you doing all that if you're not taking time to reset? You know what I mean? So allowing yourself to be in those moments of like not doing anything but seeing where it leads you to, maybe that's a period of observation for you. Maybe that's a period of rest. Maybe you're meant to pick up on something else that is happening around you instead of to you. Like all of those moments are important, but really just giving yourself grace. There is this Instagram, it's off topic, but there's this Instagram page that I follow. Her name is Inspired to Write. It is the most riveting content that I've ever seen because every single thing she posts, she pretty much gives us permission to be artists outside of the normal expectations. So I mean by like, she'll say like, just because you didn't write today or just because you didn't make a song today doesn't mean you're not still an artist tomorrow. You know, like just because you had a moment of like lack of creativity or you haven't touched it, if all you did was look over your song, if you wrote a word, you're still being an artist, you know, like just unlearning what society's pressures put on you about what these definitions are, I think is important. I think the cool thing about all of you two is that you have different trajectories that your career has taken you, whether that be specifically in Milwaukee, but also outside as well. While you were here, what are some things you think are kind of difficult? Or not even difficult. What are some just challenges you think that comes along with being an artist in Milwaukee that youth should think about today that they should try to get past?
All right. I would say difficulty is finding that fan base, finding your crowd. As we know, there's a lot of things that's trending in the city, out of the city, wherever it is. There's things that hit, there's things that trend. It's important to not feel like you need to fit into those trends to find your crowd and your lane, your avenue. Because there's people that'll listen to your music wherever you are. And if you fully get stuck on, well, I don't make the type of music that's in right now, or I don't make the type of music that people want to listen to, you're never going to get anywhere. You got to see past that and keep pushing your music until you find the people that it resonate with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dope.
Can you tell me your question again? I want to make sure I answer
Just
it.
thinking about some things, hurdles or challenges that come along with being an artist or creative in Milwaukee specifically that they should think about.
Okay, I would say mentality, and my mentality is different now that I've spent some time elsewhere, but I think sometimes because Milwaukee doesn't necessarily have like major distribution here, sometimes we I think every place has a glass ceiling. I think sometimes we lower Milwaukee's lower than it actually is. We feel like, oh, we're in Milwaukee, so I can't do this, or like there ain't enough opportunities. But so I spent some time in LA, 8 years, backstory, context. But I've been here for 7 months, and this scene is so thriving and vibrant that it's crazy. And I thought I was just going to stay for a year. And I was like, I'm going to stay for a year, cheap rent, and then I'm going to go back. And now I'm here, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to leave. So not being, even piggybacking off of what you said, even though you are physically in this location, music is global. You could go viral tomorrow, or somebody in Japan could really be vibing and digging your music. So don't put limitations on your own self because of where you might live. So
I love that.
Yeah,
That's really poignant.
I would say I'm kind of piggybacking off both, but I would say resources and network. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of times people will have this stigma because we're in Milwaukee that there's no network, there's nobody to meet, there's nobody to that we should connect with. You know what I mean? And then as far as the resources, everybody always thinks of places like L.A., Atlanta, Chicago. Oh, there's A&Rs here, there's a radio station here, there's a label here. But I think the flip side of that, you know what I mean, is there are people to network. We just have to have the mentality, like you were saying, the mentality to go network with. You don't know who you're sitting next to. You know what I'm saying? You could be sitting next to somebody that has a resource that, you know what I mean, can get you to where you want to go and vice versa. So I feel like as artists and creatives in Milwaukee, we have to make sure that we have an open-mindedness to networking. You know, just because we in Milwaukee doesn't mean that people don't have nothing to offer. You know what I mean? There's amazing people all through the city. And just like Emmett was saying, I just moved back from Atlanta. I was in Atlanta for 3 years. And there's an influx of studios and all this stuff here. But, I came back here last November, and I've been seeing some of the same things. You know what I mean? I've been able to perform. I've been able to print my merchandise. I've been able to record and just, function as an artist on the highest level. You know what I'm saying? So I would just say mentality, resources, and networking is something that we can utilize to overcome the stigma. You know what I mean?
Oh, make some noise for that, y'all. That's amazing. So Wave and Emmett specifically touched on the fact that they also had experience outside of the city, which I thought was super important for people to have access to as well. One of our other programs here that we have is called Amplifier. That's something that we have that's for like not just teens but adults, the whole city of Milwaukee. That's ran by a man named Chad Roper. If you're not familiar with Chad, please get to know him. He has been in the music industry for over like 2-3 decades, worked with Rico Love, written and produced for some of the greats. But he is always emphasizing the fact that even if you're here, it's important to take some time outside of the city because you can't really understand how you function as a Milwaukee artist if you're only ever in Milwaukee. So even if that means taking like a summer, you know what I mean, or a few weeks to go somewhere else and immerse yourself into a different scene, all of that experience is valid with shaping who you are. So my question to you guys specifically, how do you feel because you started in Milwaukee, how do you feel like your time elsewhere in LA and Atlanta was shaped by that, and then vice versa, if that makes sense?
Man, I would just say like traveling is so vital to the artist and the creative because you can grow up somewhere, but as you travel, you get inspiration, and you get to expand your mind. You get to see different cultures, meet different people, see different, hear different sounds. You know what I mean? So I just think traveling kind of just expanded my mind. And, through those experiences, I was able to level up as an artist because now I got more stuff to write about. I said it in one of a podcast I did recently. I actually went to L.A. and I saw this place called the LACMA. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys ever seen the LACMA. It's an art piece that's like it's in the area, you know what I mean? But it's a pretty big art piece. But just something that simple, now I can go back home and rap about being by the LACMA, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's simple. It's a simple example, but it's stuff like that really those experiences that really take you to the next level as an artist. So I would say that traveling is very, very, very pivotal as an artist, man. You got to move around. It don't mean that you switching up on your city or, because that's also a stigma too. It's like, oh, you left Milwaukee or whatever. Mm-hmm. But another thing too is like, yo, I feel like it's better to, take the city flag with you
Yes.
and tell everybody else about it. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like you
absolutely.
traveling and putting everybody else on your city than just being in your city, repping your city. It's like, kind of backwards. So travel, man, travel, get around, get
Yeah.
out, you know what I mean? Get outside the city.
You can't rep your city if you only in your city. That's
Exactly.
pretty much
You know what I
what's
mean? You
been
got to take the
said.
flag
Yeah.
with you, man.
I love it. That's
Yeah.
impactful. And I think that it's important for them to hear that at this stage, because it's like you guys might do you traveling through different, some of y'all might go to school out of state and other things, like if you're still working on this sort of things, that's also a moment. You know what I mean? Like I'm an artist from Milwaukee. I'm a singer from Milwaukee. I don't care if I'm in Colorado. You know what I mean? Like any doesn't matter. I think one of the most important things too is being able to take whatever that experience is and have some way to siphon it back to the city. That's probably like the biggest piece of the puzzle that we've all been trying to like put together. Is like we have so many folks that start in Milwaukee to get their trajectory going and they leave, but we want to be able to take that experience and funnel it back to make sure that those resources are also fueling the up and coming talent that we have here. Right. How about you? How does your experience in LA fit to this?
I would say, traveling is important. I encourage everyone, even if you don't move there for good or a decent chunk of time, to just be somewhere you don't live or not from. Just even for a summer would be dope. One of the best things I've taken from living in a bigger city like LA is the hustle. Like I think I've always had hustle, but now that I'm here in what you might consider a smaller market, I've brought that hustle with me, and so it may appear like I don't sleep, but I do. But just the hustle, just always hustling, bustling, doing something, doing this, playing this show, curating this. Because in a big city, those what the vibes are. So bringing that here, and then helping people realize that you actually do have it pretty good here. I think that if you want to be a rapper, an artist for a living, it is more attainable to actually do it here, just from a financial vantage point. So. Yeah.
Nice.
Agreed.
Doubling down on that. Dope. I think you mentioned something too, like you keep dabbling on hustling and everything, which transcends into the whole aspect of indie artists, which is supported by these 3 little letters, DIY. You are like the main definition of a DIY artist. So there might be some folks out there that don't know what that means or don't understand what that concept. Can you explain to anybody at home or in the audience?
No funding, no help. Do it just no. My new motto is DIY with a big budget. So sponsors and funders, come holler at your boy.
Listen.
But anyways, DIY it literally means do it yourself. But as an independent artist, I just wave that flag pretty proudly. So like, instead of going online, and there's nothing wrong with doing this. Instead of getting 100 CDs made online and wrapping it up in plastic, I just do it myself. Instead of getting my tapes made, having a company do it. I have a friend who dubs it, has a dubber, plastic, wrap it myself. Just doing all those type of things yourself. And so, quick example, I had a song called Juice, and I was like, it'd be a dope idea if I released juices with my song. And so naturally your mind might go to like, dang, what company makes juice? This is why my girlfriend doesn't like me that much. But we in the kitchen making juice. We in the kitchen making chips. So it is a lot of hard work, but I like to be hands-on in the process. And so that's just what DIY means. You are literal, more so literal than metaphorical. You are literally hands-on in the process, and it's a lot of work, but I get joy out of it. So, yeah.
That's what's up. I honestly, like every single indie artist in their start, or even they stay, we're all DIY to some capacity. Every single music video that you have online, you started that trajectory yourself, and you work with local videographers, photographers. Like all of that is still along the same lines of that. I think that this generation has the opportunity to break the notion of, I can't do this unless I have support from, a label or money for this. Like, no, like if you find out who a videographer is, maybe there might be one in the audience today. Who knows? What do they want? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you do stuff for trade? Like, do you do content with other people to do things? Do you have a set price? If I know, like, oh, that person charges $300 to do this, I'm going to save up $300, and then I'm going to come to that person and with that idea, and then we're going to get that going. Like, all of that along, it's the same long lines. Like, it is very, very possible to be hands-on. Sometimes I don't like it. We have to be everything. We have to be the artist. We have to be the manager. We have to be the booker. We have to be the security guard. We have to be everything for ourselves. But also having the hands-on experience, I think, definitely gives us the most amount of heart, you know what I mean? And being able to really have that level of connectivity with the very audience that we're trying to share our art with, you know? Very dope. I've been talking a lot, but I want to make sure I'm not missing any other questions. Does anybody else have any other questions out here for these three? On the camera back there, yes. What the question is, what is your favorite song that you've ever made of them all? Yeah, it's a good question.
Oh man, that's tough. I got a lot of music, like 70 songs, but
But what?
no, literally
70 songs?
Yeah, I've got like 70
My gosh,
songs.
is all of this available online?
Yes, all of it is available on like,
All right.
Spotify. You know what I mean? I'll break the method of the madness down. But man, my favorite song that I've made, like just myself or like featuring somebody, does it matter?
Don't matter? Nope, don't matter.
I would say "Talk to Him" featuring Yo Gotti. That's probably one of my favorites, just because it's a very like staple in my career.
Yeah.
That was kind of like my "I'm here" moment. As an artist, you know what I mean? I've worked, you know, did all these songs prior and worked my way up, and that was my first song that kind of went, you know, crazy. It just went national, you know what I mean? And being able to pretty much go bar for somebody like the likes of Yo Gotti, and then you know, just having that moment. That was like my moment, being in the studio, recording the verse, then being able to perform it with him, all that type of stuff. It really pretty much, not to be cliche, it kind of put me on the map, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Map
So
it out.
yeah, that comes to mind when I think about like favorite songs. Yeah.
Nice. And I like the fact that we're all taking note of what they are. So if we want to hear them, then later on we can connect with them after.
Yeah.
And
the
like,
song is called "Talk to Him." My bad, not to cut you off.
No, you're good.
It's
You're
called "Talk to Him" featuring Yo Gotti. You know what I mean?
Dope.
And
Y'all-
I gave him the work too. I did.
Gave him the lyrical business. I love it. M?
It's a very hard question because I also have a ton of songs. So I'm going to do recency bias. I put out an album a few months ago. There's a song on there called "Will Rap for Rent." The reason why I'm picking this song, though, is I've done multiple iterations of this song. Sometimes just tracks, sometimes with 3-piece band, 4-piece band. And now I can say I've done it with a 13-piece band.
Ooh, yes.
Which is dope. But yeah, Will
That
Rap.
was the barbecue?
Yeah, Big Man Barbecue. WR4R Will Rap for Rent is the song.
Nice.
So, yeah.
RV?
Favorite song I made is gonna be my next single that I drop. Is gonna be "Chance on Us." The reason I say that's my favorite is I feel like that's the song where I was the most vulnerable. It touches on relationship standpoints, the struggles that come with it, and that was just my space to vent, and it was super vulnerable. And like I said, it's gonna be coming soon. That's gonna be my next single.
Nice.
So that's definitely the favorite song I recorded.
Be on the lookout. I love it.
For sure.
I have two. My two favorite songs that I've ever done. One of them came out not too long ago. It's called "Hate to Love." And it's a house song. You guys know house music like that. And it's actually featuring Duran Bernard. If you don't know who he is, did you guys see that tiny desk of that guy that did the Proud Family? That's him. Right. So I really love that song specifically because it was my first time not only dabbling into that genre, but also similar to what you said. Like that Duran is a national artist, so the fact that I was able to work with the likes of somebody like that kind of was very validating. And I like having that as an example of how far my art has reached. You know what I mean? And also a song that I put out earlier this year. It's called "I Produce My Own-ish." Yes, you have to check it out. That song to me is like my resume. It's my musical resume. If anybody ever has any question whatsoever about who I am, what I do, they literally can listen to the song. Better yet, they can watch the video because I made that too. And they can just see, like, I sing, I produce, I write, I play the flute. Like, if you don't know who Be Free is, you're going to find out in 3 minutes and 31 seconds. So, yeah, I love that. Yes, y'all going to check all this music out. We should start a Music Lab playlist.
That'd be fire. That's a good idea.
Ideas on the spot. I love it. Dope. I think I saw another hand with a question, so I want to make sure I catch him. Yes. I think you kind of touched upon this a little bit.
Yeah,
earlier.
I was gonna say my actual big bro is my big bro. Yeah, man. Just and I would encourage people to find, if you don't have that person, like find that person that you'll listen to. My cousin Seven. Shout out Seven if you watching this. I literally called him before I call him before I pull up and do anything. He's somebody that I respect his opinion. You know what I mean? He's somebody that's flawed to me, and also just somebody that's he makes a lot of good decisions and has a lot of good advice. And yeah, man, you just gotta find that person that's influential to you. You know what I mean? Somebody that you can look at them and be like, yo, you know, I want to follow their steps and I can listen to their advice. And yeah, man, my cousin Seven was that person for me. He's the same person that told me to rap when I didn't necessarily want to rap. He was like, yo, freestyle to this beat, like right now. Signing me up to rap battles and stuff like that. So yeah, man, you know, everybody should have that person though in your life. Find that person because they're going to lead you to, or they're going to push you to, you know, greatness for real.
Nice.
I have two. So I spoke about him earlier. Genesis Renji, another hip hop artist here. We met in high school, and just I've been learning a lot from him. He has a label that I'm on called the House of Renji. So shout out to Genesis Renji. And then my friend Isaiah, who I met in college. I don't produce that much anymore, but he's the first person who taught me how to use software for real and sample and show me how to think conceptually when rolling out campaigns. And when I play a lot now, if I have a DJ, he's the one that's spinning for me. So shout out to Isaiah.
Isaiah Matthew. Dear RB?
I spoke on many of them. Like I said, I have a lot of local influence in the city and biggest motivators. One of them is in the room right now, so I'm going to give him his flowers while he's here. I think he's still here. Legend, where you at?
Hey!
Shout out my boy Legend. I would say this, Legend has been there since I was 7 and started making music. He has believed in me when I haven't believed in myself.
Yeah.
And he's always like graphic designer, video work, whatever it is that I needed, he was the guy to do it. So I definitely want to give him his flowers while he's right here in front of me. Because yeah, he's been one of my biggest pushers so far.
That's what's up. Shout out to Legend at 7. I want to say, like, I really love the idea of teachers too. Like I have such a very specific niche of things that I've been trying to do, and I didn't really see a whole lot of like women in this like when I was coming up. So I didn't have like super definitive influences to kind of push me along. But I did appreciate like encouragement from my parents. They're both musicians, but also my high school jazz director, Dr. Doug Syme. Like he always knew like every single thing that was within me. He's been pushing me since he met me. You know, I met him when I was in middle school. So like having that mentorship and just like believing in my abilities has super been helpful with everything that I do. So it's definitely cool. Shout outs again to music educators. We run the world. Oh yes. So I do want to say I'm gonna wrap up this question segment soon, but they're not leaving. Like Wave, M, and RB will stick around for a little bit after lab. So when we have our networking segment again, if you have any additional questions that you would like to ask that you didn't think of right now that maybe come to you later, please make sure you connect with them. Or also you can hit them up on their Insta, we'll talk about in a second. Our final question before we transition to our next performance, what is one key piece of advice? And I want you to think about something that would have been helpful for you guys to know at this age even. Like, what is one strong piece of advice you can give to any of our audience members here who wish to follow similar or unique paths for their creative careers? Anybody can start.
Okay. Biggest advice I'd say, everybody's career path is different. So don't look at what somebody else got going on and compare it to you because everybody's different.
Say that again.
And to go along with that, be okay with the temporary pause and not a permanent stop. Because I know I've taken several breaks away from music
Same.
get my mental health together, focus on school, whatever it may be. But all those pauses are temporary. Like none of those were a permanent stop. Like you said, none of that makes you not an artist tomorrow. So just continue to stay focused on the path, and if it's meant to be, it'll be, and then you just get back to it.
What is meant to be will
That part.
be. Yes. Yeah.
I would say just do it, whatever it is.
Nike?
Singing, rap. Yeah, they didn't pay us. Did it clear?
Oh,
Oh,
I don't know.
Okay. No, I
Strike
would
that
just
from
say-
the conversation. They're not paying us. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, cool. We'll have to talk to them about that. But yes, like Nike, just do it. So no matter where you think you are or where your skill set is, just do it. I think sometimes people wait until I gotta wait until I'm Beyonce. I gotta wait till it's super polished. There's power in releasing something. I got earlier stuff that they ain't gonna ever hear too, but there's power in just starting it and doing it. And then if you fail or if it isn't as great, then you learn from that. You find mentors and network with people and just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. So
Nice. How about you?
I have 3 things I always like to say as like nuggets of advice. One, I would say networking. I feel like we don't learn the value of networking enough. You know what I mean? Like that's stuff that we don't get told in school or in college or any of that. But a lot of the spaces that I've found myself in is because I've met people, I've networked with these people, I've built these relationships and nurtured these relationships. And that's super, super important. Again, you could meet somebody today that's an aspiring producer.
Yes.
But next year, this person could be producing for Drake, you know what I mean? And depending on how you build that relationship, you could be next, you know what I mean? You could still be working with that person, you know what I mean? As they, you know, they boss up in what they doing, you know what I mean? So I would say networking. 2, as artists and creators, being social, being visible, you know what I mean? Like, I've experienced this before. I've been in spaces where people be too cool, you know what I mean, to even let people know what they do, you know what I mean? And to me, they kind of miss out on opportunities because they're not being social. And, you know, even with Instagram or Twitter or whatever, you're not visible if you're not on these places. So make sure y'all on social media, all of it, you know what I mean? Don't just stop at one. Make sure you got all of them because you never know where somebody might find you, you know what I mean? So being visible. And then lastly, don't let nobody date you. That's the last one. It's never too late. It's literally never too late. You know what I mean? Jay-Z made his first album at 27. Soulja Boy blew up when he was like 17 or 16. So that just shows you like, you know, the wide range that you can find your dreams come true at, man. You know what I mean? So whoever's pursuing, whatever you pursuing, just know that it's never too late. Don't put no date on your dream. You know what I mean? Dreams don't expire. You know what I mean? You got to keep at it until you find it come true. You know what I mean?
There's no expiration on creativity.
100%.
And you know what? I made something in that a content piece the other day because my sophomore album just turned 7 a couple of days ago, and at first I was like, it's been 7 years since that Body of Worry. Do I really want to be talking about it? But then I was like, don't nobody be telling Stevie Wonder to stop singing songs in the key of life. You know what I mean? Like, ain't nobody coming to his concert about that, but that's from the 70s. That's ages ago. Who cares? Art is art. You know what I'm saying? I love that. We're unbreaking the mold. We're destigmatizing the idea that there's this period of time or age that you have to make it, and if you haven't done it by then it's just curtains for you. Like, that's completely untrue, and especially with the trajectory that we are all on now, the access and resources that we have to continue making our art is endless. And again, like I said, like with age and with life, with wisdom comes experience, and art is inspired by that. So love that you ended with that. Thank you so much. Where can they find you if they want to follow you and find out more about your music and stuff? Ooh.
Sorry about that. All platforms, Instagram, Facebook, whatever social media it is, official RB Vic, Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you listen to music, RB Vic.
How about you?
So I'll be on the east side. Y'all know that Whole Foods where I'll be over there. No. Instagram is probably the best place. And then from there, that's a landing page and then website, all this stuff. But at Emmett, EMMITT_James, that's the best place to start.
Emmett James. And you, sir?
Y'all can find me on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff at real Wave Chappelle, not the fake one, the real Wave Chappelle. You know what I mean?
There's a fake Wave Chappelle out there?
It's a lot of fake Wave Chappelles out there.
gosh.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah. I feel like you meant that in more ways than one.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But Real Wave Chappelle, you know what I mean? Y'all can find me. And then on Spotify, all the music platforms, just Wave Chappelle, like Dave Chappelle. You know what I mean? Shout out my uncle.
Yeah. I also want to, I say this at every lab that almost, make sure that your handles are the same on all platforms, okay? All of my socials, all of our B free to music, the letter B, the word free, number 2 music. Why? Because you never want to make it hard for people to find you. If they are here and they're like, whoa, that was a dope performance I saw from Be Free, I'm going to go on Instagram and find it, and then and you're like, oh, it's not there. Or if you heard the handle, but you know, the Facebook is different than the Instagram, and the Instagram is different from the YouTube. Like, it's just, people get discouraged. They're like, well, I guess I won't find them no more. You never want people to have to go on a treasure hunt looking for who you are. Put it out there. Let it be simple. Let it be synonymous. So if people should be able to Google your social media handle, and all of your stuff comes up. So that's a strong piece of advice I'm going to leave y'all with. You guys, please give it up one more time for RB Vic, Emmett James, and Wave Chappelle. We're going to transition to our next segment, which Emmett here is going to show us why he is that DIY king of rap. I'm going to ask our folks here to take our chairs off the stage so we can give him some space and let him do his thing. And then we'll move into our next segment. Oh, okay. And we're going to mute this mic on the stage left. Is that stage right? The stage over here. I got to remember my theater speak.
Appreciate you.
I know. Yes. Give it up for them one more time, y'all.
Beautiful people. How we doing? Fantastic. It's great. Yeah. That was a good point. I never heard anyone actually say that, because my Twitter is definitely something else. We'll work on that. Am I waiting on Lodi? Okay, this song is called We'll Rap for Rent. I've been blessed, and I've been able to do, rap has been paying my bills for almost 3 years straight now. So it's been on the up and up. This song is called We'll Rap for Rent. I make a living off art, and that's a fact. You ain't got the budget, don't bother to hit me back. Poem keep itching, I think it's 100 racks. Exposure won't work, can't pay my rent with that. I make a living off art, and that's a fact. You ain't got the budget, don't bother to hit me back. Poem keep itching, I think it's 100 racks. Exposure won't work, can't pay my rent with that. Can't pay my rent with that. Rent due, light due, happens every month, it's a cycle. Just know I'm liable to go Michael on a haiku. Until it's global, then we tribal. They couldn't stop me, but they tried to. 2025, I'll be a tycoon. On a cruise ship eating Thai food. And I own Amazon, Netflix, and Hulu. XG's, Yahoo, and Google. And YouTube. Wait, too soon. I said I make a living off art, and that's a fact. You ain't got the budget, don't bother to hit me back. Poem keep itching, I think it's 100 racks. Exposure won't work, can't pay my rent with that. I make a living off art, and that's a fact. You ain't got the budget, don't bother to hit me back. Poem keep itching, I think it's 100 racks. Exposure won't work, can't pay my rent with that. Shout out my granny. My granny told me I could do whatever come to my mind. I'm ahead of my time. I'm a legend with them 1099s. Now if we chillin', then she gotta be fine. Then she gotta be smart. Those are lottery signs. So no pay for play. I play, you pay. And I'm trying to get paid in a major way. Figures on goodness gracious. Trying to drop a bag in my savings. Y'all favorites is overrated. To say I'm underground's an understatement. I've been doing this since the basement. I'm tired of being the best and don't say it. That's kind of frustrating. I make a living off art, and that's a fact. You ain't got the budget, don't bother to hit me back. Poem keep itching, I think it's 100 racks. Exposure won't work, can't pay my rent with that. I make a living off art, and that's a fact. You ain't got the budget, don't bother to hit me back. Poem keep itching, I think it's 100. Sometimes you gotta say the same thing, but in a different way, and they'll get it. Hate to be the person have to say this all the time. Just at the point I can't do a 9 to 5. I'ma work on art and make a living off mine. I know I gotta get it, but I know I gotta grind. Hate to be the person have to say this all the time. Just at the point I can't do a 9 to 5. I'ma work on art and make a living off mine. Know I gotta get it, but I know I gotta grind. If you know the words, feel free to sing along. If not, we can pretend together. I make a living off art, and that's a fact. You ain't got the budget, don't bother to hit me back. Poems keep itching, I think it's 100 racks. Exposure won't work, can't pay my rent with that. I make a living off art, and that's a fact. You ain't got the budget, don't bother to hit me back. Poem keep itching, I think it's 100 racks. Exposure won't work, can't pay my rent with that. I make a living off art, and that's a fact. You ain't got the budget, don't bother to hit me back. Poem keep itching, I think it's 100 racks. Can we hit that loading? Can we stop it? I said I make a living off art, and that's a fact. You ain't got the budget, don't bother to hit me. Poem keep itching, I think it's 100. Exposure won't work, can't pay my rent with. I make a living off art, and that's a fact. You ain't got the budget, don't bother to hit me. Poem keep itching, I think it's 100. They say when your poem itch, that means there's money on the way. Poem keep itching, I think it's 100. Exposure won't work, can't pay my rent with. Appreciate you guys.
Go. Give it up for Emmett James, y'all. DIY. Till we die. Until the sponsors give you a piece of the pie. Okay. Yo, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So I love the fact that we have all this amazing homegrown talent, homegrown energy in here. You guys, you are amongst many, many greats, okay? Within yourselves as well. So again, I really encourage you guys to connect with one another. You may not know if the other yin to your yang is sitting right across from you. We've had so many instances in lab where folks have met and they've become like producing partners or made EPs together. I do think we got Swamp Villa in the house too. Shout outs to them. All those young men actually met at Music Lab and now they're in a hip hop collective together. So that's what it's all about, right? Make some noise for that. Swamp Villa. So speaking of which, I want to move on to our open mic for the teens. Now, I do want to reiterate, if there was anybody here that signed up for the open mic but did not get a chance to get their music, please make sure you come and visit Lodi. Shout out to Lodi. Give him a hand, y'all. This is our engineer, so you're going to have to email your tracks or what you're doing to them. I suggest that you do that post-haste because I do not have any additional things on my email right now. So I'm going to call your name, and if you signed up, but make sure we check in. We'll keep it moving. We have one particular rule for the open mic. Anybody that gets up here and graces this stage is a star, okay? They're already a star. Say, you are a star. And when people are stars, that means they are brave. That means they are awesome. They are getting up here and showcasing their vulnerability, their art, their creativity. And we want to make sure we are supporting that, right? So nobody that comes up here is going to be receiving anything but love. Am I right? Okay, so please keep that in mind. I'm going to call some names, and I want to make sure that it's all straight. And if it's not, we'll just figure it out. We'll just keep on going, okay? I know that I saw Jay. Is Jay still here? Come on up, Jay. Yeah. One of my faves from last season, we got a piece of their art from Running Rebels. Give it up, y'all. You can grab one of these. How you doing?
Good.
Welcome back.
Hey.
Yes. So why don't you tell our friends out here in the audience, but also on the live stream at home, a little bit about yourself, your school, your interests, and what you do and stuff like that.
Hi, my name is Jay, and I am a freshman in Milwaukee High School of the Arts. Y'all know how it is.
Woo!
Y'all know how it is.
Arts house.
I don't know. I've liked singing for like a really long time. I said this story maybe already, but when I was little, I had a base bat, ball bat, whatever you call it, base bat. And I made a happy birthday song, and it had an epic guitar moment. And I sat in my room thinking about chords that didn't exist. And I was like,
Yeah.
and it was so epic.
I love it.
Like the most epic happy birthday song you've ever heard of. But yeah, guys, like I'm in theater, a theater major now, so.
Ooh, I love it.
All my acting arc, y'all.
Okay. Can I just say, real quick, one of the things I love about the theater major, specifically at arts, like acting is your forte, but that doesn't mean that's your only bag. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like acting is the groundwork for leading into all kinds of performance. It can influence your stage presence, if you're doing music, if you're doing whatever. So that's a really nice foundation for you. I do say this for myself.
Yeah.
Very nice. So let me just double check. What are you going to be doing for us today? Was it something Acapulco?
Yeah, it's
I
gonna be
thought so.
Acapulco today.
Okay.
It's gonna be Acapulco. Let me sing you a song, guys.
So while we're doing this, again, if you were on this list and you did not check in with Lodi for music, please make sure you're doing that now. So make sure I got you on here. And I'm going to turn the stage over to Jay. Give it up for Jay Rosado White.
Okay, give me a second. Okay. I look into your eyes and I think back to the sun of mine. You're as old as he was when I left for war. Do these actions haunt my days? Every man I've slayed is the price I pay. Endless pain. Close your eyes and spare yourself the view. How could I hurt you? I'm just a man who's trying to go home, even after all the years away from what I've known. I'm just a man who's fighting for his life. Deep down I would trade the world to see my son and wife. I'm just a man. I'm not done. But when does a comet become a meteor? When does a candle become a blaze? When does a man become a monster? When does a ripple become a tidal wave? When does the reason become the blame? When does a man become a monster? Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. I'm just a man.
Woo! Amazing. So during our open mic, I also like to have a moment for our guests to give any constructive feedback. So I'm going to turn it over. I'm over in this corner. I'm actually going to have you guys come sit right here in the light. No, just to make sure that if there's any room for the camera to swivel that way on the live stream, they can see who's saying what. You can just grab that seat right there. And I'm just going to pass it through.
Oh, I love the texture of your voice and the different ranges you were able to from low to high. You did it very comfortably. It didn't seem like you straining your voice or anything. One thing I would say, and I had moved because I wanted to make sure I saw your face. I think for most of the time you had your eyes closed. I wasn't sure why, but I think the only thing I had to really say outside of the texture of your voice is that I would, even if just every once in a while, open your eyes more and so you could connect with the crowd. But it all depends. I'm also only seeing you do one song. You could have did 3 or 4 songs and it could have been a different vibe. But just from what I got here, I would say just so we could connect with you more visually. But other than that, I thought it was great.
Yeah, one, I just want to piggyback off he was saying, amazing voice. I love your voice. I would just say confidence level. You know what I mean? Like, you got it. Like, for real. Like, I want you to believe in your talent and your superpower. You know what I mean? Your voice is your superpower. So, you know, definitely look at the crowd and just more confidence. You know what I mean? Like, believe that you got it. Tell yourself you got it because you really do have it. You know what I mean? So, that would be my only thing. But you're amazing. I love it.
One thing I liked how you didn't feel rushed or pressured to start. Like, you waited, you composed yourself, waited till you were ready and comfortable, and then got straight to it. That's one thing that I appreciate, because a lot of times people feel rushed and then get started and they're not prepared. So taking that time to prepare was a good thing. And just to piggyback what they were saying, confidence. You got it. You can sing, for sure. Put on a show. Show us that you can sing. That's it. That's all.
Yes, give it up for that one time. Now, I have a little bit of I've been privy to seeing Jay perform before in last season. And all of these notes about confidence, I will say you're already on the right road. Because I remember previous performances where it took us a little bit of time. And I'm glad that you feel comfortable enough in knowing when to move through your trajectory. And also, I think you sound stronger. Like, your voice has definitely grown in the last few months. Like, the vibrato was there. Like, when he mentioned your tone, like, that's amazing. Like, I already hear a few, I don't want to have percentages to put on it, but I definitely hear way more confidence than you were developing along in the last season. So I think you're already on the right path. So really just trusting in that. And the fact that they all acknowledge that the talent is there and really just owning it. And having more confidence doesn't necessarily mean doing more. It just means having a bit more of a strong grounding with what you're doing. Like, I think you're already on the right path with that, though. Very much. Cool. Y'all, if there's anywhere online where you would like them to follow you, you want them to shout that out now.
Nightly Romantic on Instagram, guys. NIGHTLY. Romantic.
I will also say this is all about networking, so make sure that if you like what you heard or want to connect more, then these people are here. Go speak to them. Get that in person. Trade information, okay? Give it up for Jay one time, y'all. Thank you. Love it. I think it's really amazing. I love when people come back, you know. I think that there's this misconception sometimes about Lab that we're looking for, like, people that are just ready to be, like, on, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the purpose of coming up here. The purpose is to let this be your breeding ground, to let this be the place to work out the kinks for things, to get constructive feedback on how things are going with your performance, and what's already there. You know, what can I do more of that I'm already have? You know, this space is for y'all to be free, pun intended. You know what I'm saying? So definitely make sure you utilize that in every way. And tell a friend. Okay. I want to make sure this person is here, and if so, please just tell me if you checked in with Lodi or not. Is Kay here? Have you checked in with Lodi? Okay, come on up, Kay. Come on down. Hey. All right, let me get you this. Oh, over here is fine. Welcome, Kay.
What's good? Hi.
Now, you are new.
Yeah, I am.
Yes, I love it. I love new faces. All right, my friend Kay, I do remember you had a very thorough submission to the open mic segment. So I'm going to let you tell our audience and friends who you are, what school you go to, those things, and what you do.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the mic is fine.
I am Kitty MW. I go to Cudahy High School, and can you just tell me tell them what I do?
Yeah.
I am an artist. I'm a singer. I own a label, manage for artists, other stuff. Yeah, I do a lot of stuff. I also offer mixing, free distribution, all that stuff. Yeah.
I was gonna say I can read what you wrote. I can read what you wrote. You want me to read what you wrote?
Sure.
Because I can sell it. This is Kay, y'all. Goes by Kitty MW. Was a rapper, singer on the come up in the underground music scene. Completely self-engineered and recorded. Give it up for that. The name of his label and collective is called Moonwalkers Militia. So if you're going to name your label, you got to tell them what it's called, my guy.
Moonwalkers Militia, yeah.
Yes. The main focus is helping small artists get their music out on platforms for an affordable price and provide mixing, production, videography, and much more. Come on. That's what's up.
Thank you.
Breeding grounds.
I worked hard for it. I worked very hard for it.
I had to remember not to curse. Yes. Okay. I was about to say, like, oh, yeah. No, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you never know who you're going to meet. There might be somebody out there that needs all or more of those things right now. Talk, okay?
A lot of people
Get
do.
into it. What are you going to be doing for us today?
Just performing a song.
Performing a song? And you got the track ready?
He got
all
the track,
right.
yeah.
Y'all, I'm going to turn it over. You guys give it up for Kay.
Thank you. Drop it, yeah. Yeah. Moonwalkers Militia. Never grew up. My Billy. Came to gang, shirt of world like ice, chewing and shaking in front of me. Icy spice, swear to God, you know you not came and go. I don't like to look at prices, I just lean with it. I got like 3 vices, pat down through it twice. Anyways, let's get to a walking lab. I just drop back at Louis, shooting and feel, shooting to get up on me. That's why I keep it serious, swear to God, you gotta keep it talking. Have you running, have you going, crying back to your mom. Rushing dog, my dad's a bounty on the end of the effing world. I'm still pushing P. Like I'm gonna just broke the bank. Had a set on my enemies. Shoot it out the window. Get it dry. You're a moonwalker militia. Running the red, walking down. Leave them turning like a wheel. Castlevania. Gotta keep that weapon. Gotta keep that steel. Kitty drama made me laugh like a real moonwalker militia. You don't ever see our blood spill. Gang, straight the world like ice, shooting and shaking in front of me. Icy, spicy, sweaty guy, you know she's not just grab and go. I don't like to look at prices, I just live with it. I got like 3 fights, get your pat on through it twice. Walking left, I just drop back at Louis, shooting the field, shooting to get up on me. That's why I keep it still, swear to God, you gotta keep it time. Have you running, have you going, crying back to your mom. Moonwalkers Militia.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I got a lot to say, but I'm going to give it to you. Actually, I'm going to start over here first.
Hey, man, I like the confidence for sure. Confidence is there. I like the way you work the crowd. Eye contact is there. Man, you work the stage for sure. One thing I would suggest as far as you progressing musically when you're performing, consider like turning down some of your vocals just so like we can hear you and what you saying, because it's important that you putting on the show and we hearing you versus just the backing track. You can hear me? Huh? You can hear me? I can hear you, but I'm saying if you turn down your vocals just a little bit, that makes you stand out even more, if that makes sense. But no, I like the way you work the crowd. Confidence is there. Good show for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, bro. Just piggyback off what he said. The swag is crazy. You know what I mean? I love the swag, man. I love it. But yeah, man. So to his point though, a show version of that song, I think that's what you need. You know what I mean? That's what that would amplify it. You know what I mean? Because like you said, you was working the crowd and everything. But when you hear the record, like you don't have to take the vocals all the way out, but you know maybe just bring them to a certain level to mesh it with as you're performing. You know what I mean? And that, man, that's really all I would. Cause man, the stage presence is dope. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, echoing the same sentiments. The character is there. As soon as you already walked on stage, and we was like, oh, okay. So the steez and the swag is there. But yes, show tracks to your songs when you're performing, very essential. So show tracks could be, I have my hooks on, but I leave my verses open. Or if you like backing tracks, just turn them down low, because then that way you get to lean more into your performance. I personally prefer to just have ad-libs and choruses on, because when you perform a song, I think in different settings you might perform it differently. Even though it's a hype song, if you're in a more intimate setting, you might tone it down. If your verses are open, then you have more room to perform your song differently. Because when you leave the vocals on, now you're married to the performance that you had on your track, and then we can't hear your vocals as clear. But if you leave it open, or if you turn them down, now you have a show version of your track, and I think people can hear you more clearly.
Thank you. Thank you all.
You took the words out of my mouth. You know, I think that. Oh, you can stay for a second.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna come up because I know Montreal probably mad at me being off stage talking. Hold on. I think that they pretty much said all the things that need to be said. Like, but I am very, very pleased with the confidence. I'm very, very pleased with your stature. You can tell that you know that you're an artist. You know what I mean? Like the way that you carry yourself, the confidence is there. Keep leaning into that. I love that you seem to have a style already about you. You're very confident in who you are. I would love to see more. Please come back. I would even welcome, and I would say this too for anybody, if you ever get some specific feedback about one of your songs from our guests, you can come back to another lab and do it again. Like, I'm not looking for all original stuff. Nobody said you can't have repeat performances, you know. Maybe the next lab is where you're like, okay, I'm going to lower those vocals. You know, I'm going to try what Wave said, what M said, and do more of this and see how that compares, okay? This is what this is for. It's a breeding ground. It's a learning opportunity. It's a place for y'all to work it out. So feel free to come back. I would love to see anybody else that you have in your camp, like for part of your label, like, you know, folks like that.
I got a lot of good people. Trust me.
Yes, please bring them to all the rest of the, and also make sure you connect with Swamp Villa. I know my homies are out there.
I already know them. I'm part of their, never grew up. I'm part of their.
Okay. Well, never mind.
Yeah.
Keep the connection strong. Where can they find you at if they want to learn more about what you're doing or listen to more of your music?
Okay, so KIDDYMW, Kitty MW on all platforms. My main Instagram account just got hacked. Oh. So right now you can follow Kitty MW Backup. Mm-hmm. That simple, and I'll post a story when it gets unhacked or when I get it back.
But also, the main thing, make sure y'all connect with him in person while he's here.
Yes, please.
Get all those contacts. You can trade emails, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you hear something you like or you want to learn more about the label and what they got going on, this is the space to do that, okay? Give it one more time for Kay, everybody. Thank you. Wait, what you say? Okay, I have one more person here, but I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Is there anybody who signed up for the open mic that did check in with Lodi besides Eli that is expecting to go? Okay, so I'm on the right track. Cool. All right. I'm going to welcome this person to the stage, and I'm very excited for this performance. I don't think that I've seen this particular caliber of performance in lab in a while. So please welcome Eli to the stage, everybody. Let me turn this on for you. Hey there, young man.
Yo, what's good? How everybody doing? I can't hear you. How everybody doing? There you go.
I'm gonna just go.
My name Eli. I go by the Book of Eli. Normally I like rap or sing, but I'm kind of doing a little chill thing. I'm doing a little drum cover for y'all. Does that sound all right? All right, cool. Let's get to it. Do I get this to you?
Oh, sookie now.
You don't want zero problems, big fella. Yup. If one more label try to stop me, it's gonna be some dreadhead niggas in your lobby. You don't want no problem with me. You don't want no problem with me. Just another day at the pick up on the mail. They gon' channel riding through the streets, they be like they go. You don't want no problem with me. You don't want no problem with me. Just another day at the pick up on the mail. They gon' channel riding through the streets, they be like they go. Ooh, I just never sweet. My come for free, so if one more label try to stop me, it's gonna be some dread in your lobby. You don't want no problem with me. You don't want no problem with me. Yup. Pull up in a new thing, but my you don't want no problem with me.
You want Peter Pop low, take your shirt off, wave around your head like a helicopter. I ain't putting no in. All you do is smoke tobacco. Where the hell you get them from? You say he ain't made them. My chasing bounty hunters and getting chased by their baby mama. My first tap on my stomach. Got a pocket full of money and a mind full of ideas. Some of this may sound weird. Inside of the Maybach look like it came out of IKEA. Run like diarrhea. Big got no pie still. I captain. I'm high captain. I'm so high. Me and God dapping. This my blessing. This my passion. School of hard knocks. I took night classes.
You don't want no problem with me. You don't want no problem with me. Yup. Pull up in anything with my they go like they go. I got problems bigger than these boys. Yeah. My deposits, they be on steroids. Lord, free the Carter, need the Carter. Sacrificing everything, I feel like Jesus Carter. Hold up, I got it sold up. My soda pulled up, my woes up. I'm flipping those bucks, they doing toe tucks. I roll up and let the smoke puff. I lay down toes up, hold up. Get too choked up in a bank of old stuff. Move on, put my goons on, they kidnap newborns. In the streets, my face a coupon. Up too warm, all these coming through home, just bought a new charm. But watch, I buy your new arm, you lukewarm. I'm Uncle Luke with the hoes, pretty centerfolds, tipping toes around my crib in they rolls, just they robes. $500,000 in the safe, another in the pillowcase. Codeine got me moving slower than a caterpillar race. Well, what you were thinking, what you thought it was. I just pop out, that's an only caught a buzz. And if that label try to stop me, they gon' be some crazy Weezy fans waiting in the lobby. No like that. You don't want no problem with me. You don't want no problem with me. Just another day at the pick up all the mail. It's gon' channel riding through the street, they be like they go. You don't want no problem with me. You don't want no problem with me. Just another day at the pick up all the mail. It's gon' channel riding through the street, they be like they go. They go.
Young sir, come down center. All right, so I already gave y'all the mic, so you are good to go.
Sure. First of all, thanks for playing the drums. It brought some diversity.
Sure.
I met Eli a few weeks ago. We was talking about him maybe playing some congas for me. So it's cool to see you do your thing in person. So what I would say, I like what you did. There was some times. How well could you hear the track?
I couldn't hear that.
Okay.
Much. I was trying to.
I
I was
can
just
see it
trying
on
to
your-
play along.
I could see it on your face sometimes. There was a couple times where I could hear that, like, I don't know if he could hear it that well, and so you kind of got off a little bit. But what I would do in those moments is I would even just take time to listen. So you don't have to play through, like, oh, I don't know if I can really hear him, but just keep playing. Sometimes the better thing is to, like, just wait. Sure. And I play with a band often. I don't necessarily play instruments, but like sometimes the drummer or the guitar player or whatever, like you might just give it a beat so you can hear it. Sure. My next thing I would say is even when you're figuring out your selections of when you want to do your fills, what might help is if you follow the progression of the song. So usually on the hook, beat is big. That could be a great opportunity to do the fills. But then on verses, chill it down, do some rim shots. That would just, I'm not a drummer though, so
For sure.
I'm a
No,
rapper.
you speak it back.
But just so, because sometimes you would hit the cymbal, and the cymbal got a lot of high frequency, so it's shh, 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 and it's kind of competing with the other frequencies in the song. So figuring out the pockets and the times you want to do that.
For sure.
But thought you did good, man.
Appreciate you, myself, bro.
Yeah, I don't got too much to say because I ain't no drummer, bro. I'm gonna keep it all the way real. But one, I want to say I love your confidence. You know what I mean? You had me sold just from soon as you walked up and grabbed the sticks. You know what I mean? It seemed like you know what you was doing. You know what I mean? So even if I was somebody who never seen you before, I'm gonna walk in and be like, yo, he killing it because you look like you killing it. You know what I mean? So confidence is everything. And yeah, I guess my only advice would be like, you know, next if you're ever playing drums live or something like that, having like an in-ear or something like that where you can hear the track, you know, while you rocking out on the drums. You know what I mean? Something like an in-ear or something.
Yeah. To piggyback off of him, I like how you captivated the stage as soon as you came on. You owned the crowd as soon as you walked on the stage before we even knew what your name was.
Appreciate it.
So that was a good thing. Another thing that I like is even when there were moments where you couldn't hear the track, you were getting off a little bit, you would stop, you would tone it down a little bit just so you can hear and catch back on. So not giving up, not just calling in one, you kept going. To improve, I would say when there are moments like that where you're on stage and you can't necessarily hear something, like he said, have something like an earpiece to where you can. Even if you don't, like if you were to look over Loki, I'm sorry, what's his name? Lodi, I'm so sorry. If you were to just look over at Lodi, give him some eye contact, tell him like, you know, boom, 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 just communicate what you need so you can give the best show possible.
For sure.
For sure. That's my advice.
Appreciate that.
Do you do this? Do you perform it like on the drums to music often?
No.
It's fine. No, but I think that's because I was wondering, like, do you normally have like in-ears or something? Do you know what he means by that when he's talking?
I know what you mean by in-ears.
Right. So if anybody else is also curious, drummers can have the feed from the board connected to actual headphones that they can, there's ways to set it up through the sound so that they can follow along easier. All live musicians, especially like in tour settings and just performances in general, most of them will have in-ears flowing so that they all can keep track of, because what we hear is always like a few seconds later. You know what I mean? This is the way that sound travels. So what the audience hear versus the stage sound, like you don't want that to be the only way that you're following along. So I think that was a really sound. If you're ever in a situation where you don't have in-ears, just make sure you indicate with the stage plot that you want to have a monitor that as close as possible to you so that you can hear what's going on. But then also following off what he said, like there's nothing wrong with taking a moment to listen. You can use that as a moment to hype the crowd up, you know what I'm saying? Maybe spin the sticks, you know what I'm saying? Like to make them make some noise. Or you can get them to clap along. Let the audience be your metronome, you know what I mean? Like let them kind of keep what's happening so you can keep where you at with the vibe. But I was very, very in thought. I thought it was amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So give it up for Eli, everybody.
Thank y'all.
Where can they follow you at if they want to? Now Eli's very involved in the community, as is our other members. Shout out to Sphinx to God, too. I know he out here. Everybody came over here from True School, right?
Yeah, True School.
So where can they follow you at if they want to keep up with you?
On Instagram, _thatboy_Eli. So it would be _THATBOY _Eli. Yeah.
Dope. And we're also going to have some more time after lab for networking, so make sure you check in with him. Give it up one more time, everybody. We have one more performance for you all, so please do not fret. I did not forget, okay? But before we do, I do want to take a moment to do our raffle. So as I mentioned, every team that came through here put their name in to submit for a free t-shirt as well as a hoodie. So I'm going to do that right here. So hold on. The first t-shirt goes to, drum roll please, Jaden E. Is Jaden E here? All right, Jaden, congratulations. Now, if I call your name, don't come up yet. Just wait till we're done with the picture so then I can distribute the correct size, okay? Next t-shirt goes to, thank you for the drum roll. Oh, no. Is it Lyric? Is there a Lyric here? Is Lyric gone? It's a beautiful name, but no. Okay, next t-shirt. One more. Charlie, is he here still? All right. Well, I'm going to move on to the hoodies. So I'm going to keep moving through the names. The Music Lab hoodie goes to Amelia. Is Amelia here? Oh, man, nobody wants the stuff. can't read that. Hold on. Olithia? 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 No? Okay, I'm going to do one more. Marquise? Is there a Marquise here? Okay. I can't read this. I think they had to head out. One more. Kaden? K1? Okay. Well, we got one t-shirt that we gave away. That's totally fine. I want to say with that, shout outs. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you do join us next month. Huh? No, it was spelled differently, but you can have it anyway. I don't care. No, you can totally have it. But wait, I'm going to give them out when we're done. Congrats. Yeah, so just a few quick notes before we transition to our next performance. We do this every month on the last Friday generally, so make sure you stick around. I'm going to transition to our final performance of the night. You guys, please give it up for Wave Chappelle. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah.
Check. Can y'all hear me? All right, look, check this out. I go by the name of Wave Chappelle. The song that I'm about to perform for y'all is called Overflow. It just dropped, you know what I mean, today. So if you go on Apple Music, Spotify, whatever music platform you on, pull it out, go download this song, play it. It is my new single off my upcoming project, Can't Stop, Won't Stop, the deluxe album. You know what I mean? Let's get it. Bounce, okay, it's on me now, coming in, overflowing, we ain't running in, had to hold it down, now we up again, knocking out the doors, we running in, okay, it's on me now, coming in, whoa, overflowing, we ain't running in, knocking at the door, it's us again. On my grind every day, we hustling. Okay, I go all the way and ain't no punching in. Putting shots up in the gym till we touch an M. I'm MC Hammer, haters can't touch this dog, you know I'm him. Look, you gon' take a seat if you don't understand. Every day I bet on me, slamming down the poker chips. Anytime the flow can switch, Curry I ain't known to miss. Trapping through the snow for this, everyday emotion pick. Kill him on my joker itch, but this one I ain't joking with. Look, every bar make them catch the Holy Ghost. Why you think they call me Wave? I overflow. Late shift, night owl, like OVO. Tryna get like me, I show you how I'm supposed to go. On me now, coming in, overflowing. We ain't running in. Look, had to hold it down, now it's up again. Knocking down the door, we running in. Okay, it's on me now, coming in, overflowing. We ain't running in. Look, knocking at the door, it's us again. On my grind every day, we hustling. Get like me, take too long to get like me. Turn her down if she like me, but boss her up if she white feet. Face call good, don't need ID. You ain't squad, can't BYB. Frozen water on my neck. Oh, okay, I see. Look, we had dropped the work, then we ran up. My feet is up. Even wintertime, I be heating up. I'm brash with it. All the competition, they be weak to us. We can't in, keep in contact. They ain't seeing us. World champ, pound for pound, flow for flow. They still the style, word for word, flow for flow. I ain't tired, my will keep me on the road. Tryna get like me, I show you how I'm supposed to go. It's on me now, coming in, overflowing. We ain't running in. Look, had to hold it down, now we up again. Knocking down the doors, we running in. Okay, it's on me now, coming in, overflowing. We ain't running in. Look, knocking down the door, it's us again. On my grind every day, we hustling. That's my time, y'all. Go to the name of Wave Chappelle.
Let's go.
That song is called Overflow, man. Make sure y'all go download that. Let's
give it up for Wave, everybody. Yo, so before we transition to the next part, I have a couple of housekeeping items. Number one, when we're gonna take a picture, okay? I'm gonna need everybody to come on stage. Not right now, but I'll let you know in a second. But please don't be shy. I want to show our sponsors that we have people here. Okay? We need actual evidence that we're actually having programs. So please, when we ask you to take a picture, it's just for those purposes. We're not sending them out for any dating services or nothing like that, so don't be weird. Please make sure you tell a friend, okay? Music Lab is free. Music Lab is here. Music Lab is open to anybody. Even if you don't want to perform, that is not a prerequisite. You can come just to vibe. You can come just to learn. You can come to chill with your friends and meet new people. Please make sure you join us for our next session on Friday, October 27th. We are going to be giving away tickets to Grace Weber's Milwaukee tour stop at the Paps Theater. Give it up for that. And you make sure you want to be in the building for that because she's going to have some amazing opening acts, including yours truly. Right, I thought it'd be more hype for that, dang. You're a real one. All right. Music Lab is presented by Hyphen, a Radio Milwaukee station, and sponsored in part by American Family Insurance, Daniel M. Sorov Charitable Trust, Colby Foundation, Ralph Evinrude Foundation, Greater Milwaukee Association of Realtors and Youth Foundation, NPS Partnerships for the Arts and Humanities. Shout out to our community partners at Ronald Reagan High School, Milwaukee High School of the Arts, Peak Initiative, Running Rebels Community Organization. Special shout out to Take One Youth Filmmaking Lab. And also, remember, as soon as we are done with our picture, you guys are going to go out there where DJ Sphinx the guy is going to keep the music flowing. You're going to do your networking. We're going to close the gates so we can do our post-lab filming with our guests, but then they're going to come and join you guys too, so they can come and kick it with y'all, okay? Follow us at GW Music Lab. Everything you need is at gwmusiclab.com. My name is Be Free. Thank you so much, everybody. Come on stage. Come on stage for the pic. Come on stage for the pic. Come on stage for the pic. Shout out to RB Vic. Come on stage for the pic. Come on stage for the pic. Everybody as well. Shout out to Wade Chappelle. Come on stage for the pic. Come on stage for the pic. Come on stage, no stage. Shout out to Emma James. Hey, come on stage for the pic. Everybody, come on stage for the pic. We need everybody on stage for the pic. Everybody on stage for the pic. Kids, adults, everybody on stage, serious. Kids, adults, everybody on stage, I'm serious. Kids, adults, everybody on stage, please. Kids and adults, everybody on stage. Come on stage for the pic. Say, come on stage for the pic. Showing all our sponsors, then we can keep this lit. Okay, come on stage for the pic. Scoochy, scooch. Grace Weber's Music Lab. Nice. Okay, please listen to me carefully. I need for everybody to go on the other side of the gates. Grab your, if you have